Good evening, everyone. Today is 4/22/2013, about 10:30 at night. First, no, I have not died. This is not a halo above me. It looks like it could be, but it's just my lights behind me, so haha. But, you know, kind of cool effect, right? Like beaming up. First, thanks for all the comments. I got a bunch of comments this last week. I'm going to read through a few of them. Kim, hello Kim. Kim the Vegan. You guys should check out her blog. It's Rock My Vegan Socks. .vancore.ca, I believe. Yeah, she has some good stuff on there. But a couple of really awesome comments and one question. So I think you mentioned it before, but what is the name of the treatment again? Can you tell us a bit more about it? I'm sending you a whole universe of positive and wonderful healing thoughts. You're awesome. Thank you so much. All about the positive, wonderful healing thoughts. So the treatment I was actually originally going to do the herpes one, which I said, where what they do is, so with all these they have like their little tumors, right, and they can see them. So what they would have done is they would inject the actual tumor with like this herpes virus, and then they were also going to intravenously give me ipilimumab or something like that. It's some I don't know, it's just some crazy drug. But when I actually spoke with the nurse today, and talking with the nurse, she suggested I go on to this other one called I don't know, it's a phase 2 study of Cavitax, and it's one that they told me about 3 months ago, but it's the same type of thing where it'll go in. This one they use a cold virus that'll go in, and it'll basically, your tumor cells are, you know, little round things, and they have little receptors around it. What happens is this little, they inject this little virus into the tumor cell. The virus inside replicates and replicates and replicates, and then bursts open the outer line, the protein membrane of the tumor cell. And once that happens, all these little viruses, like these cold viruses, come floating out, and all these little melanoma ones come floating out as well. And at that point in time, my immune system, like the white blood cells, come and they recognize, oh, all these viruses are here, oh, and all this other stuff is not us, so it starts just attacking it all. So it's really just boosting the immune system more than anything. The herpes one does something very similar. They wanted to do the IPI along with it in order to you know, just kind of do systemically nuke my whole body, everything like that. But when I was talking to the nurse today, she suggested this other one, just the cold virus one, because there are more people in it for longer, and like she said, one of their best cases has been on it for like 6 months, and he had 4 tumors, and 3 of them are completely gone, like completely eradicated. One of them's going down, and it has like no side effects almost. They haven't seen anywhere. They put it in, and literally you're home the next day, and it's a lot less of regimen. So I go in, like, I think the first 8 days or something like that, and then it's once a month, versus the other one is, you know, every other week and everything like that. And from what I gather, the other one, they only have like 10 patients total in it, and it's just such a brand new one that she's like, you know, we don't know anything. You can always get it later. Like, they're gonna come up with another one that uses the herpes drug down the road, and I can always get the IPI. Where this one, she's not sure, but they've had 28 people that are in it right now. Like I said, they have a bunch of really good things kind of coming from it. So I think, you know, now I've kind of switched back to going into this the Cavitac one. It seems just like a much more what's a well-rounded, something that they have some studies behind and everything like that. So I'm pretty excited about it. I go in on Wednesday to get my blood work done, and then they go and kind of go through there. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I don't know what else there is about it. I know, like, I asked her if I could do like other treatments on the, you know, along with it, and she said really, as long as it's going for wellness and it's not specific for cancer, they have no problem with it. So it works well with like adjuvant things, and you know, it actually is going to work out a lot better with kind of our travel plans, because we want to go to Europe, and we're going to still go, and I can just fly back once a month and get the shot. And she honestly was just saying, yeah, that's what you got to do, is come back, we do this, you're on. Well, that's pretty easy, so I'm totally good with that. But yeah, I hope that helps, and if you want more, ask a little bit more specific questions. Let me see if I can find the schedule in here really quick. So yeah, it's like a total of 15 physical examinations, 15 measures of blood, 15 electrocardiograms to see if my heart's okay. 15 lab tests, 15 lab tests with urine, an interview to feel how I'm feeling, and then measurement of tumors by ultrasound and stuff like that. So I'll receive 4 separate doses in the first 8 days. So it's day 1, day 3, day 5, day 8, followed by 5th dose 2 weeks later, and further injections occur at 3 weekly intervals. So day 43, 64, 85, 106, 127, up to a maximum of 10 sets of injections. Until the progress of your cancer is confirmed or developed harmful and toxic side effects. So, pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, and then the questionnaire. I have to do I'm going to be doing 8 different CT and MRI scans. So that's pretty cool. They'll be watching me pretty closely on it. So should be pretty fun. It's pretty exciting. It's definitely making a choice and kind of moving forward with it. And something that me and my wife were talking about, so I got a little bit, today I was supposed to be out of town tomorrow on Wednesday, and I've always kind of put my health as, I've done a lot for it, but I've never made it #1 priority. And I was talking to my wife today, I'm just no, I gotta make this #1 priority, so I'm missing out on my trip tomorrow to really just kind of get this stuff done and really make a decision and start moving towards that. And when I did it, we were talking about diet, and I wanted to get right back into diet and really push that. And I came to a realization with that with my wife of just saying, I've already tried that, and it still hasn't worked as good as I would have hoped. So why don't I try other things, And GV Longa, you sent me one for the Camelot Clinic. Which is, it's they call it nature's chemo. It's some stuff that they put in, and it goes in and basically does what chemo does. It's just all natural, FDA approved. I took let me see if I can't figure out what it's made out of really quick. But yeah, it's just this, I think they said some wormwood or wood something, DMSO, high dose vitamin C and vitamin B17, administered over 20 days. It's all immune support. It's all really, really cool stuff. So looking at that, and then my mom suggested this other one up in Aberdeen, Idaho, that is it's for oxygenation of the blood. And then there's another one down in Mexico, and that's all different stuff that I kind of got to that point where it's and it kind of like you, GV Longa, when you were kind of you did the black salve and did a lot of the stuff, and I completely agree that the black salve just can't keep up with it. This all happened within 3 months, and this is just the stuff you can see. I can feel more underneath here. There's some back here on my neck. In my jawline right here, there's a few. So it's definitely it's so super aggressive that I want to fight it aggressively, and then kind of push from there and see what happens. So I think the black salve is helping, but it's so targeted. It takes such 14 days to get one out. Well, in 14 days, I grew 2 other ones, and even doing you were saying, that the internal stuff, it just doesn't seem to be attacking it as quickly. And so that's why I'm just going to start throwing on everything. I'm actually going to go to acupuncture tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, so let me see if there's anything else on GV Longa. I really liked your comment, by the way. He said, do not panic no matter what the results. You are a shining star. Please go slow and consider everything but radiation and chemo. And that really hit home, man. That's thanks, man. That's really cool of you and nice of you to say. I like being a shining star, and I agree. I kind of get, I don't know, I get kind of worried sometimes, and I wouldn't say I ever panic, but I do get into those I gotta do something now. And so I've definitely tried not to panic and freak out or anything like that. And I do try and go slow and consider everything. But I also know the value of acting. I need to make a decision and move forward. And from everything I'm reading, I definitely don't want to do radiation and chemo again, because it's just poisoning me. Where this study seems to be pretty damn awesome, that it's just boosting the immune system, I'm totally for that. And then I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try as much as I can. So should be pretty fun. Coben Matrix sent me a couple comments. Hello, good to talk to you again. It's been a little while. I love, she said, totally understand your need to feel supported. There's something alternatives can't do because of suppression and fear. You do what you think is best for you and your family. Your words have been an inspiration. You're truly the most positive of people. I wish you all the very best. You are awesome. Thank you. and I try and be the most positive person I know. So so I write in my journal like I'm the most positive person in the world. So it's pretty fun. I mean, is manual lymphatic drainage massage recommended, or would this be counterproductive? According to the nurse, and I'm going in on Wednesday, she said, you know, everything kind of works. As long as it's, you know, for wellness, she doesn't really see a problem with it. So I've never heard of a lymphatic drainage massage personally, but that's definitely something interesting. I'll definitely check it out. So very cool. Last comments were from my dad. He he gave me a bit of trivia that I'll find interesting. So Victor Hugo wrote Les Miserables while in exile on the Isle of Guernsey. So my last name, I'm Jordan Guernsey, my dad's Guernsey, and there's a Isle of Guernsey, and I'm reading Les Mis to my daughter, and so it's just kind of funny trivia for sure. So, but yeah, so that's it for the comments. Thanks for commenting, guys. It was very, very cool of you guys. It keeps me kind of on the forefront and going. So other big news, I ran a half marathon on when I was on Saturday. So it was exactly a year from the day of my surgery, and I ran a half marathon. I did it in 1 hour 54 minutes and 30 seconds. My legs are pretty sore, but I was really proud of myself to actually do it, you know. But like mile 12 it was just like, oh, my mentally I wanted to keep going, and you know, like my breathing I was totally fine. My legs were just like, nope, you are gotta stop. So you know, finished it, and you know, got a little medal and everything, and was just super proud of myself. It was really, really cool to do. You know, I was pretty excited about it. So, yeah, it's been a pretty fantastic weekend. You know, just we went over to Darren and Evie's last night and had a great time with them. Saw their kids. You know, went to the soccer game on Saturday, and we ended up winning, which was awesome. And you know, just had a really, really, really good weekend. And you know, I'm stoked on life. I'm really, really excited. Like, been talking with my wife, you know, a lot about this stuff. Obviously, weirdly, you know, we talk about death, we talk about, you know, all the different things that can happen, and it's really cool to get on. We're getting really on the same page with a lot of this stuff, and actually, you know, it's like conversations that you never want to have with your spouse, or especially at like our age. Like you know, I'm 28, she's 28. And you know, where like I have to go in and like, okay, well, if I die, like, what's gonna happen? What are you gonna do? Like, okay, well, I gotta start, you know, helping you understand the business side of what I do, and you gotta, you know, start picking these things up that you never thought you would need to, and I gotta, you know, start being more compassionate and trying to help out and all this other stuff. So we're really you know, kind of bonding closer and closer, and it's at just an accelerated rate. So pretty crazy, but yeah, it's been fun, you know. Life's amazing, you know. It really is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me, I'd say. But yeah, it's been great. I hope everyone else is. I hope you all are doing amazing too. You know, I don't see why not. You know, one thing I'll use. I always say I have a cancer card, so I'll use my cancer card. That, you know, if your day's doing so bad, and there's, you know, something you can, you know, you're complaining about or bitching about, or feel like the world's gonna crush you, you can always look at me and say, well, at least I don't have that, and then be pretty happy and kind of move on from there. And you know, just, you know, life's meant to be enjoyed, so definitely enjoy it, you know. And you know, are you guys closer to where you want to be today, to your goals, than you were yesterday, or 30 minutes ago, or an hour ago? You know, I definitely know I am. I love moving towards the goals. You know, it doesn't mean that they have to come to realization. Most of them won't, you know. You know, you've got a good goal when every mile you get to, every mile closer you get to it, it seems 2 miles farther away. Because it's just, you know, it's all about the journey, it's all about the life experience, it's all about having that set point, not worrying about all the details. You know, me and Michael were talking today about a company I'm starting to do like products and stuff like that, and he wanted to know the structure and what it's supposed to look like in a few years. And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, what I do know is I want that to happen. But what's happening now to get there, I'm going to focus on that. You know, it's like, you know, walking. You can't see around the corner. You can't, you know, predict the future. You can't do anything. So why try and make something now for something that's going to have to change anyway? Like, you know, I don't know what's best. I know what I'm doing now, and I know as long as I'm going that way towards my goal, well, I'm going the right way, you know, and things are going to change and everything like that, and I'm okay with that, and, you know, totally okay being wrong. Like, You know, I wish diet would have only fixed this thing, and I wish, you know, in business I would have not made a lot of the mistakes I made. But I'm glad I've realized that they're just mistakes, not just, you know, badness that I don't learn from. You know, and it's what do they say? Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before he came up with a light bulb. Well, I failed a lot of times too before, you know, a molding box came about, or, you know, any of these other companies. So, but yeah, I've been talking for a while, so it's been a little bit for these videos. But, you know, I think I'm gonna start kind of getting on these a little bit more now that I have more to talk about with cancer. So I'll be trying to update these a little bit more regularly. So yeah, hope everyone's doing amazing. I know I am. It's a great day. Why is it not on a beautiful day? You know, beautiful Sunday, or beautiful Monday, sunny day today. Beautiful, beautiful Utah. So hope you guys are all awesome. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out.